What up, guys? It's Lee here from Bleeped Up Productions, and today we have something very, very special. Today is a new beginning on this channel, and it is Faeria Fridays. This is a series where we are going to be building decks and playing the fantastic card/board game known as Faeria. If you don't know what Faeria is, there is a link in the description for you guys to go check out this incredible game. It's available on PC, it's available on the Switch. I don't know about Xbox, but I have it on my PlayStation 4, and I can tell you for a fact, it is a fantastic game. And today, guys, we have a special basic red deck. I went back to the basics. I've been playing a lot of Faeria with friends online, and they were just getting involved because there was a huge sale of it recently on Steam, and they picked up pretty much everything for this game for really, really cheap. So UK, it came to like about £15 for everything, which is incredible, and the game is just so fun and addictive. And they're having a blast playing it just because I said it's worth a try, and they saw the series and thought it was fun, and then they did some more research on the game, and here we are. So we are going to look at basic red. We're going to do a little bit of a basic talk about the cards. So if you don't want to see any of that, you can skip ahead now. The screen on the shot, well, basically on the screen now, it tells you what time to go to skip ahead in the video to just go watch the gameplay. Obviously, it's really, really good. I had a ton of fun filming this and recording this. Unfortunately, my audio messed up for the first two games, so I had to re-record the audio for it via my mixer here. But everything else is live and fun, and there's some bit audio peaks because I get a bit excited during some of the games. But anyway, we are going to get straight into this deck. So we're going to call it Basic Red. And the first card we're going to talk about is Hold the Line. Hold the Line is a fantastic card. Obviously, for one Faeria, you can basically draw 2 Imperial Guards into your deck. Obviously, Imperial Guards, really good cards. They allow you to have Taunt, and obviously, if they get killed, you get 2+ life back to yourself. Very, very strong card. We're going to be running 2 Hold the Lines in. The next card we're going to talk about is Court Jester. I'm running 2 of these in the deck. 3 Faeria. It's got Taunt as well, but it's got a keyword in there, which is really amazing, which is give a character in your hand +2/+2. Very, very strong, especially with some of the cards we have in this deck. It can go really, really well. The next card we have is Rebel Slinger. Now, Rebel Slinger, I haven't played this card in forever, but I think it's just value for turn 1 plays. It's amazing for turn 1 plays. So Rebel Slinger comes out on the board, and it does 2 damage to your opponent. But also, turn 1 plays, you can play 2 fairies right immediately, or prairies, so we say, immediately to your well and place him down, and basically he'll just be collecting nothing but Faeria the majority of the game. He comes out, throws a knife, which is great, but other than that, that's all he really does. Steam Forge Enforcer, we're running 3 of these. He's a big boy for 6 Faeria. The stats on this guy is ridiculous. He's in the board just for an answer because I've got a lot of small creatures in this, so having him in the deck is fantastic, and you know, the stats don't lie. He's a really, really good card. Moving on, we have Flame Silk Fairy. Flame Silk Fairy is a very good card. 2 Faeria, 2 mountains required to play this card. It comes out as a 1/1, but if you draw an event, it gains 3/1, so it becomes a 4/2 flyer with ranged. Everyone knows about my decks on my channel. I love ranged. Ranged is annoying for a lot of people. These guys come in so clutch in this deck. Even though I'm running 2 of them, and we're only running a few events, at the beginning of the game, you can just shove these things on wells, and then as soon as you get an event, they become amazing defenders and offenders. It's great. Like, offensively, they're fantastic, and defensively, they're great. They can just really split up the board for your opponent, which is really unfortunate. Right, moving on, we've got 2 of Seether's Wrath. This is really awesome. It's just a straight-up damage card. It does 2 damage to any creature, and guess what? If you kill that creature, you gain 2 life. It's pretty darn good. It comes in clutch a little bit in this deck, because obviously, if we're playing Rush or any other kind of things, it can be quite situational, but it's really, really fun to just pick off, you know, these really big, horrible boys you've been smashing face with, and then you just kill it with this cheeky little card and gain 2 life back. It's very, very good. Okay, moving on to one of the MVPs of any red deck, which is Bloodsinger. Bloodsinger's amazing. It's a 2/4. And guys, you've seen this in multiple decks on my channel. I'm running 2 of these in this deck. This thing is money. When an enemy creature dies, you deal 1 damage to your opponent. You get both these out early doors, and you put them on wells, and you start distributing damage with some of the stuff we've got in this deck. You're just going to be chipping away and really pissing off your opponent. I absolutely love it. Next is Flame Burst. I haven't played a lot of Flame Burst in the past, but the card is just really, really good. It's 3 Faeria, 2 mountains to play, and we're running 3 of these in our deck, and it's straight up do 3 damage. So you can choose it either on a creature, either on yourself, or you can either attack your opponent to the face. So it's a very versatile card for 3 Faeria. It's really, really strong. Next one is 4 Faeria to play even, sorry. It is a Bloodstone Spire. We are running 2 of these. It's a 4/4. You guys have seen this in the deck as well. Obviously, on previous videos, you put this guy or any other your creatures on enemy wells, you do 1 damage to your opponent at the beginning of your turn. Very, very strong card. Absolutely love it. Phenomenal, phenomenal card. Moving on, we're going to get into some ramp of the deck with Fire Elemental. It's a 5/2 for 4 Faeria, and you need a mountain to play it. And basically, you play this, and you get to create another mountain. So you can generate a lot of mountains early. The majority of everything in this deck is only going to be 3 mountains, the max. There's other builds I've done of this now with other legendary creatures, but I want to keep this as basic as possible because, you know, sometimes getting those legends are very hard in Faeria. You eventually get them, but I want to do a basic deck, and it just works really, really well in this deck as always, because Fire Elemental gets ramp really, really well. Next to go, we have Grimguard, which obviously, you know, another staple of red. It is a 2/5 with taunts. Obviously, when it attacks, it does 2 damage to your opponent. 4 Faeria to play. 2 mountains required. Shove this on a well. Shove this in your opponent's face. They hate it. They have to spend cards to get rid of it or just kill their own guys to kill it. And you're constantly doing damage to your opponent's face. It's perfect. Grimguard is super, super cool. Moving on to another great staple of red, which is Underground Boss. This is 5 Faeria, 2 mountains to play. He is so good. The stats on this guy is ridiculous. And obviously every time you combat, you gain 2 Faeria. He is really, really good. Probably one of my favorite red cards now, thanks to a few of my mates that play Faeria who are like, Lee, you need to look at this guy again. I know I've played him in other red decks, but he's now an auto include because he's just so good. For what the cost he's at for the stats and his ability. He's just a really phenomenal card. Moving on to one of the funniest cards in this deck, which is Ground Shaker. We're only running 2 in this deck, guys, because the last card I wanted to run is always a staple in red. Ground Shaker is really cool. He's a big boy. He's a beefcake. We love him. But when he comes out on the board, he does 1 damage to everything. It is possible to get board wipes on turn 3, maybe even turn 2 if you have Fire Elementals out on the board, boys. It is hilarious. And your opponent... I've made multiple people rage quit with this deck, and it's just a basic, boring deck. But it is incredibly strong when you can get that, you know, that turn of just like, I board wipe you. I've got a lot of big things on the board. You've gone back to 0. Well, basically, you're going to have 3 Faeria, but you've got nothing on your board. It is a very big... you know, middle finger to your opponent. So, yeah, Ground Shaker, phenomenal card. And then finally, my favorite card of red. I absolutely love this. It's in multiple builds, and I'm only running 1, and that is Hellfire, which is 7 Faeria, 2 mountain. And obviously, you guys know, split 9 damage across the board. So good. Creatures, opponent, you love it. It's just a fun card to play. So that's the deck. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. This deck is a ton of fun to play, and it isn't expensive either because obviously you can craft cards and stuff like that, but it doesn't include any legendaries. Like other builds I've had, I've included other cards that are legendaries that make this go incredibly, should we just say, rude with even more board wipes. Let's just say Guradan. Yeah, Guradan is pretty rude in this deck. He basically replaces my Hellfire in this build because he just obliterates, and it is really, really sad times for your opponent. But it's really great for us because another source of board wipe is him and a ground shaker. Ugh, what a horrific turn. I know that's 16 Faeria, but trust me, you can play this deck really aggressively, or you can play the long game and you still be able to punch face. It's really, really good. So without further ado, guys, we're going to get straight into some games. Hopefully you guys like it. If you've enjoyed it so far, please leave a like. A like is much appreciated. And yeah, here's another episode of Faeria. Okay, guys, with game one, what we have here is a fantastic game against Gorka Morka. So it should be a good time. I'm looking forward to it. And Gorka Morka, that is such a 40k reference. It's appropriate on this channel 110% of the time. So what we're going to do with this episode is we're going to have a few more games as usual. And we're going to see how the red beginner deck does. So starting off, we've got Underground Boss, Hold the Line, and Sethia's Wrath. We're going to keep that because that is a very strong starting hand. Okay, and we're going first even, sorry. So what I'm going to do, build a mountain, and we're going to play Hold the Line to draw two, Imperial Guards. And we're going to greet our player in Gorka Morka and end our turn. Here we go. Is he going to be a gentleman and say thank you? That's the question. Right. Okay. He draws 2 lands quite quickly. And he puts a Village Elder out there. Fair play. We're going to keep it going. And we're going to play our Underground Boss right there. We're going to end our turn as well. So, moving on. Here we go. What have we got? Okay, he's going to play a Forest. He's got 7 Faeria. He's going to end it there. Okay, cool. Right, our turn. We're going to go with 2 Faeria to get to this well, I think. And we're going to put an Imperial Guard on it, so we've got, you know, another source of getting the Faeria. And we're going to end our turn there because we're in a good spot right now. We've got some good cards in hand as well. You know, we've got some answers. So we're going to see. So he's going to play a Mountain. He's going to play a Fire Elemental. Okay, I guess he's going to build a mountain right next to us. So we have a 5/2 in our face. And another Fire Element. Wow, okay, so he's going really aggressive. Okay, so we have a mountain right in our face. So he's got 3 Faeria. Okay. So, what am I going to do? Let's figure this out. Let's go with a mountain. We're going to have to get a little bit closer here, I think. Yeah, I definitely need a mountain because I need Ground Shaker, I think. I think that's the best bet. Yeah, so what we'll do, put that there. And we will put a... Actually, Sethia's Wrath will actually deal with it. So there we go. We can do a cheeky 2 damage. And then we'll do a trade, because that's probably better. There we go. And then we'll put the another Imperial Guard on that well. That makes sense. There we go. Okay, that's a good play. All right, so we've done a little bit of a smallish board wide, but look, 7 Faeria again. He is getting a lot of Faeria out of us, and he's got a mountain in front of us as well. So what? We're in a bit of a puzzle, should we say? A bit of trouble here. So here we go. We've got a derelict tower. That's and then firebomb. Deal 4. Wow. Okay. Okay. That's rather frustrating. So we're just going to build 2 lands. We're going to get aggressive on this side of the board, I think. We're going to move our Underground Boss up. What do we do? Yeah, I think we Fire Blast that derelict tower because that needs to go off the board. We'll put an Architect on the board next to our well. We have got an issue because there is a mountain right in front of our face. But so far, so good. We're okay. It's hopefully his deck is going to be running out of steam a little bit, but we'll find out. So another Forest is being played. On a Tiki token. Okay, so that totem is annoying because I believe it gives +1/+1 to most creatures. So that's kind of frustrating. But we're going to play a mountain there. And what we're going to do is we're going to play this Flame Silk Fairy right there, which is flying. And obviously if we draw an event, it becomes a 4/2, which is very, very strong. So what is Gorka Morka going to do? He's got 2. No, he's got 3 cards in hand. I was going to say he had 2, but obviously he's just used his wheel to draw another one. We're looking okay because we've got this fairy. Hopefully we can draw some shenanigans and get going. Another fire elemental. Wow. Okay, and a 6/3 because of the totem. Because of totem, obviously every creature that is, I think the first creature of your turn you play gets +1/+1. It's a very good card. Okay, Court Jester is drawn. Okay. I feel like we need to just put a mountain right in his face. And we're going to Court Jester. Right.
Why so serious?
And that Ground Shaker is going to get a 2/2, so that's very tasty. Ending our turn because he has to hit that Court Jester. That's kind of unfortunate for him, but we need to find answers. So we need to see what he can do. There we go. So he's got rid of the Court Jester, but that's done its job. One of our Ground Shakers is huge. So I'm very, very happy with that. He plays a forest over there by the well. What is he going to put out there? Another Tiki token. Okay, so the first creature he ever plays each turn now is going to get 2/2. That's an issue. Okay. So, 7/8 Ground Shaker to his face seems pretty strong. Yeah. That seems pretty good. Right, we will just move. I think we've got to be a bit aggressive, so that's why I moved the underboss up there. We'll bring a mountain into the middle. And you know what? Let's play another fairy. Let's take a risk. Let's take a risk and we'll end our turn there. Because obviously that 7/8 is way more scary. And that flame elemental can't kill it, but he has to make a decision here. So let's see what Gorka Morka does. He's going to fire blast it. Nice. And then we try. Okay, that's fine. So he's wasted a fire blast, so I'm okay with that. But let's see what shenanigans we've got in tow here. What's he going to do? He's got 2 Faeria, 3 cards in hand. We have 1 Faeria and 1 card in hand. So, and he's putting a forest in the middle. Okay. And that is why we play the fairies right there, guys. Booyah. That is perfect. We're going to have to kill that totem over there. That is perfect. We're going to fire blast the other one. So we've done a whole board wipe. That is phenomenal. We'll move the underground boss up to get stuff off the Faeria, which I'm really, really happy about. So yeah, and we'll draw a card because we can, and we'll hold the line. So we know for a fact next turn, one of those possible, depending on what we get, depending on what I want to try and do, possibly, that Imperial Guard's probably going to pop on that well near us to get more Faeria. But anyway, he plays a Bloom Sprite, so that's a 1/1. Obviously, when it dies, it triggers more fun cards for him to draw. Tiki Caretaker is out, and there it is, the 3/3. Right, we've got a Grimguard that came out. Interesting. So what we'll do, we'll gain 2 Faeria from the underground boss. He'll draw a card. We'll shoot him. We will then move... No, yeah, we're going to kill the Tiki Caretaker, I think is probably the best bet. No, we'll move him. We'll move him. I've got an idea, because the Ground Shaker can kill him. There we go. Perfect. And this is looking like it is going to be a win for us. We're going to put our Imperial Guard on the well like we said we were going to. And that is going to end our turn. And it is looking like curtains, unfortunately, for Gorka Morka. The writing is on the wall. Can he pull something off? With 3 Faeria and 5 cards in hand. Our survey says a forest. Okay, okay. And a blossoming Kodan, which will generate 3 random forests. It's a 5/3. Okay. And it's probably game here, unfortunately. So what we're going to do, this fairy... Yeah, so what we need to do, Ground Shaker needs to hit him. The underground boss has to hit that. And then the fairy hits that. Actually, we move the fairy over. Oh, I've done it wrong. I think I've done this wrong, boys. Ugh. Well, Steamforge Enforcer can go there. Okay, so we've got a fairy to pick up again if we want to. We will put down 2 fairies, 1 there and 1 there. And then we'll put the Imperial Guard, there he is, on the well, so we can keep it going. That will end our turn right there. And this definitely... I could have handled that probably better, but we'll take that. And there it is. Okay, another Caretaker, making that a 7/6. That will trade with that. It won't trade because it has 1 more health, unfortunately. But that looks like it's probably going to be curtains, because unless he's got a blocker and he's got 0 Faeria to play anything, that is curtains, guys. So what we can do, just to rub salt in a wound, is move up the Architect. We can play the Bloodsinger there. We will kill that. That deals 1 damage to him. The Enforcer could come over and kill that, deal another 1 damage, and then the Fairy can come and hit him in the face. And that is game 1 in the books with our Red Beginners deck. Obviously, this is the first victory of the day for us, so that is a very tasty thing. But yeah, you know, starting off pretty strong, I'm not going to lie. Looking forward, this deck hits like a Mack truck, so I'm a little bit happy about that. It's very situational. It can easily board wipe on turn 3 really well if they're only playing 1/1s, because it's very, very strong. So we're going to search for another game, and we'll get straight back into it. Okay, we find a game, guys, for game number 2 here, and it is I Go Face is our opponent for game number 2 here. Let's see how we get on. That was a good first game. It really shows how versatile the deck works. A couple of misplays on my part, but it's early in the morning, figuring out life. So, let's see what we've got. We've got Court Jester, Flame Burst, and Bloodsinger. We're going to keep that hand. That is a very, very, very strong opening hand for us. Can't argue with that. Okay, so what we're going to do. 2 normal planes. Play the Court Jester. We got our turn 1. He's going to give 2/2 to the Bloodsinger, making it 4/6. Bam. End of the turn. Could have put a mountain down, but we wouldn't have been able to get the Fairy going right away. But we're going to probably build mountains towards the right of us. And we'll greet our opponent because we can. I Go Face. Plague Bearer. Okay. Okay. Love a little bit of Plague Bearer. That's kind of crazy. We're going to build a mountain on this side. And funny enough, that's all we can do. So we're going to end turn. That is interesting that he is running. I'm saying greetings again. Is he going to just be rude, I Go Face? Is he going to eventually say thank you or greetings or anything? Or is he just going to keep quiet? He's going to move the Plague Bearer up, that's for sure, into the well. And end his turn there. Still hasn't said thank you, guys. How rude. What we could do here is we're going to put a mountain here. We're going to play our big Bloodsinger right there. And then we'll Seether's Wrath, I think that thing, because that makes sense, mate. Oh, wait a minute. No, Blade Bearer does a lot of damage. So, 2, it will kill the Court Jester. So, no, we'll end the turn there. So, yeah, the Plague Bearer is a very good turn 1 starter, guys, because it just does 2 damage to everything else. It's very, very good. So, what is this guy doing? So, he's played another desert. So, he's got desert and he's got water. And, okay, so we've got an Oasis Explorer. Comes down as a 4/4. Okay, we have a Fire Elemental. We'll love that. So what we'll do, we'll put a mountain there. We'll move up the Bloodsinger. We'll put the Fire Elemental there, and we'll continue the train. And we will... Where do we put it? Yeah, we'll put it in front of that, because I'm not too bothered by that. And you know what? I'll end my turn there. He's got to come to us, and we've got to go to him. So I'm okay with that. So we've got answers in our hands. We've got some big boys on the field. Court Jester did his work for us on turn 1. So what is he going to do? Okay, so a normal prairie and 1 near him as well. So he's closed the gap for us, so I'm okay with that. So what is he going to do? Soul Drain to get rid of the Fire Elemental. Okay, that makes sense. Move the Plague Bearer up, I guess. That makes sense. No, he isn't. He's not. So we got Ground Shaker. Okay, maybe we do some fun shenanigans this turn. So what we can do is 2 prairies to move that up. What we can do is we will... do we put a Ground Shaker out? Yeah, we'll put a Ground Shaker out. We'll put a Ground Shaker out in a defensive position near our well. Put it there. Does 1. That Plague will do 2 across the board on everything. That's okay with us. We'll Seether's Wrath. Seether's Wrath is probably better. But what we'll do is we'll Bloodsing there. And then we'll Seether's Wrath his Oasis. Boom, boom. See? That is 4 damage to the face. That was very tasty. Blood Singer is doing money for us in this game, and we just did a board wipe. He has got 11 Faeria, so that's kind of scary. But we do have, we have got a Flame Burst in hand. And there's a 6-1 that can get killed immediately. That's fantastic. Okay, a Death Wish Ghoul. That's a 3-1 again. Can get killed quite easily. Okay, so we got a Grim Guard. Let's move the Blood Singer back. I think that's probably the best play. I'm just trying to think now. So we'll brew 1 there, and then we'll put 1 there. So what we can do is we can move the Blood Singer to the side and hit him. Kill, kill. There we go. That's nice. Then we can put the Grimguard on the well. That does wonders for us. And then, you know what? We'll end our turn there and just keep this Blood Ghoul and the Ground Shaker at this well. So he's got 11 Faeria again. He's looking pretty... I don't think he's got any answers, but he is going all the way across the board now to cut us off getting anywhere. And there's Last Nightmare to destroy a creature. There goes our Ground Shaker. So that's 6 Faeria of his gone already. But we've lost a Ground Shaker, which is kind of sad. What have we got here? Soul Drain. That's one of our Blood Singers done. He gains 2 life back. Okay. We have a turn. We're going to put our Bloodstone Spy on that. That's 100% going to happen. And we're going to move our Blood Singer back 1. And then we're going to trade. I think probably trading. No, if we keep him there, he's fine. Or do we trade? We'll just move him back 1. That's fine. And he can chill there. Just to see what possible answers we might be able to get from our card draw next turn. Okay, so he plays a island there, or a water, or however you want to call it. And he plays Mystical Beast. Okay, it's a 2/5. Right, Ground Shaker is active, guys. Okay, we're going to put a mountain up there. Ground Shaker. Boom. Nice. Okay, a lot of damage done on the board. Do we trade the Blood Singer here? I think we do, because he's done nothing but money for us. So the Blood Singer obviously now is at 2 damage. It's not that great, but we're okay with that Shattered Demon. That's fine. And a Defender of the Realm, okay. Probably another one. No. Okay, so the Shattered Demon is going to do 5 damage to us. But if we just keep him in check, I'm okay with that. Just because the... what's the word? It does 2 damage to him in the end of productive anyway. So yeah, Ground Shaker exchanges. We'll draw another card. Architect can go down there. And do we push face here? I think so. Flame Burst there. So then when the demon, it's his turn, the demon will put him on 2 health. There we go. That looks like it might be game, because I go face is probably going to die here. And that is the W for us, boys. Another win. Back-to-back wins. Cannot argue with that. Ranking up, as always, on this channel. Love it. Right. So without further ado, let's get straight into the next game, because this deck is we're having too much fun.
Okay, guys. We are back for Game 3, and we're against Tears in this final match, should we say, of this episode for Let the Red Win. That's right. This is really, really good because obviously you've seen in the previous games you don't need a lot of legendary creatures for this. It's very, very simple bog standard deck. So starting off the game, we've got a Bloodstone Spry, a Fire Elemental, and a Ground Smacker. So we probably want to keep this hand, and we'll probably have a turn 2 instead of a turn 1, unless we're going first. If we're not, we might have an explosive turn 1. We'll find out in a second when our opponent has finished it. He's reconnected. He's lost connection. What's going on? Nope, he's drawn. Good. So we're going second. That's a good start. Okay. What is he gonna do? Greetings. Ah, what a nice bloke. I will say greetings back to you, sir, when I have the chance. Okay, here we go. I will say greetings, because you are a kind sir. Right, we're going to put a explore there, followed by mountain. Then we're going to play our fire elemental guys, because guess what? Play another mountain there. That is a great turn 1. Living the dream. Very, very good, solid turn 1. So we're going to be getting 4 Faeria next turn. And there's his Wandering Monk. Interesting. We are going to get a little bit aggressive now, because we're going to go here and here. We're going to go there. And then we're going to put our first fairy down. Now the Flame Silk Fairy is very good, because obviously the first time you draw an event, this gains +3, +1 and ranged. So we have a fair few events in this deck, guys, which you've seen already being played. So you've seen how effective that lovely little thing can be. So let's see what we can do. He's already saying well played. Interesting. Wisdom. 4/5, okay. So it's going to be a 6/5, okay. Right. Awesome. Well, we'll keep it simple. We're going to target him. There you go. And we're going to get rid of it, because we're going to be a bit rude, and we're going to play our Ground Smasher. And that is a very solid turn. So we're going to end our turn there. Hopefully he can't kill anything, because I will move that Ground Smasher up there by 1. But he's probably going to put something there now, because I want to put our Blood Sprite on the thing. That was a mistake. It feels like it might have been Tears. Interesting. Well played. Is he really quitting? He's quit. He's quit. He's done already. Guys, that's how hilarious this game can be. But I feel like it's a bit too rude to end on a game like that. So we're going to have one more, I think, because that was way too short. So let's hilariously get into a cheeky game 4. Okay, guys, so we're having a special game 4 in this episode, because game 3 was incredibly short. We're against Bufta. And that's how you pronounce it. So this will be the last game, unless this person also decides to quit really early. So let's see what our starting hand will be. Here we go. Flame Burst, Underblast, and Ground Shaker. I will gladly take those. Yes, because we can have a turn. Really good turn 2 again. And my good friend Malik has come to watch, which is good times. Awesome sauce. Alright, so we've got Ground Shaker, we've got Underground Boss. Okay. Alright, so we've got a Cutthroat Bandit. Alright, okay, so first things first. There's 1. There's 2. Dunsies. Okay, so we're setting ourselves up pretty nicely. What's Bufta gonna do? Okay. Queen's Assassin. Interesting. I'm going to play our Underground Boss a little bit back, because that 4/1 is a bit scary. But we can get rid of all of his stuff next turn when we play Ground Shaker, which will be very, very good, because if he plays another 1/1, we're living the dream. There's another 1/1. I feel sorry for doing this, but this is why Ground Shaker's in the deck, guys. Let's have a board wipe. It's pretty rude. And there's another victory! I tell you guys, this deck makes people rage quit. This deck makes people rage quit. Oh my god, that's ridiculous. Right, and with that being said, guys, I'm going to say that's the end of the episode, because I feel like today we're playing this game and all we're getting is rage quits. So yeah, let's go to the end credits, shall we?
Yeah, guys, so that is it. We went undefeated. We had a couple of rage quits, like I mentioned at the beginning. It's really funny when your opponents rage quit. It is a big middle finger seeing ground shaker so early. But it is so inviting when they just keep on, giving out, defense, on life creatures. It's really, really... You can't help but be a rude man. I'm just going to be honest, but it is really funny to do it because, that's the world we live in when Ground Shaker is around. But anyway, guys, if you've enjoyed it, please leave a like. A like is much appreciated. I love doing these Faeria Friday videos once and again. I have been super busy working on other stuff, like obviously if you've seen my channel with Tales from the Loop and other stuff that I've been working on. It's been really, really fun to just go back to play Faeria again and just create decks and make these videos because I absolutely love this game. I cannot endorse this game more. Go out and get it if it's on sale, or even now if it isn't. It's so much fun. You get rewarded by playing it. Like, you don't basically have to do what every other kind of card game is and dump like a ton of money in to get cards. Just play the game and it rewards you, which is such a great thing, especially for like people who don't really have a lot of money for card games and want to spend money on other hobbies and stuff like that. So without further ado, guys, this is Lee from Bleeped Up Productions. Take care, stay safe, and we'll see you in the not too distant future for more Faeria Friday videos here on Bleeped Up Productions.